Good luck on those field sobriety tests. Cannabis DUI can wreck your life. An arrest, suspended license, thousands of dollars in fine, paying a criminal lawyer, mandatory drug classes that Sam likes, and in some places, actual jail time. Especially if you have a crash, hurt someone, or have a prior record. Your insurance company will send you a nice letter that says, "Thank you for being a customer. Now please pay triple forever." How do you avoid this nightmare? Again, it's pretty easy. Don't drive high. If you're going to indulge, make like your college roommate and just hang out on the couch for a while. The effects of edibles last for much longer than you think. Of course, there is tolerance trade-offs depending on how much you use. If you're inexperienced and quite overserved, just play it safe and hang out, watch The Big Lebowski. And the reason why you want to play conservative is because you can test positive for cannabis weeks after using it. It is really unfair. So don't get cocky if you're a medical patient and you think having a medical card is like your get out of jail free card for impaired driving. If you're behind the wheel and not fully sober, you're going to be breaking the law. It's that simple. Let's say you smoked last Tuesday, you could still get a DUI today in most states. They don't test if you are high now, just if the metabolites are in your system. We have to work on changing those laws. Moving on to law number 3, crossing state lines, the federal boogeyman. Let's get to the one people screw up all the time because they think it's legal over in Michigan and cheaper. So what's the big deal? Well, crossing state lines with cannabis is a federal crime. The federal government still has authority over interstate commerce in cannabis, and that's why it's a Schedule I drug. The second you cross that state border, you're under federal jurisdiction. And cannabis, again, Schedule I controlled substance. That means it's right up there with heroin, but, for no good reason, it just always has been. We're still waiting on Schedule III. Good luck with that, Trump administration. Even if you're driving from one of the legal states to another legal state with a small Indiana gap in between it, they see that as federally legal border crossing with products, and some states, for example, Ohio, is trying to make that illegal so you can't go to Michigan and then bring in their product and say it's legal. Had to have bought in Ohio. Of course, the DEA does not have the time or resources to chase down every Prius that has crossed from Nevada into California, but if you get pulled over for something else like speeding, broken taillight, driving after you left a Fish concert, and they find cannabis in your car, congratulations. You went from routine traffic stop to potential federal defendant. Same goes with lying. TSA's official stance is that they're not actively searching for your weed, but if they find it, they may hand it over to local law enforcement. Hopefully they just throw it away. And if you're in an airport in a non-legal state, now you're a cautionary tale of the next episode of Locked Up Abroad. So don't be that person on the news when we cover it on Sundays. It's really not worth it. Even a small amount can trigger asset forfeiture. Yeah, that means they can legally take your car and your other shit. Try explaining that one to your insurance agent or the buddy who you borrowed the car from. For large amounts, you're looking at real prison time. And unless your bucket list includes federal court and maybe also federal prison, leave your stash at home. Bottom line, consume where you buy and finish it before you travel. Or leave it there and finish it when you get back from travel. If you have to cross state lines, your safest bet is to pretend that you're back in 2000. Statchless and slightly paranoid. Remember, legal is a state level thing. Federal law, the elephant in the room, is still illegal. And that elephant has a pretty long memory. Moving on to number 4, possession limits, unintentional trafficking. Now that is weird. Let's talk about this. Some people like to call it the Costco error. You can go over the line. Yeah, let's say it's legal in your state, but only up to a point. Every state has a limit. In California, I think it's 28.5 grams, probably more. The states do change them, and they've gone up. I believe Michigan's up to like 2.5 ounces. Now, in California, it's 28.5 grams in concentrate. In Illinois here, it's a little different. We don't have like an ounce. We say 30 grams. And if you think those numbers are guidelines, not rules, you may have a fun conversation with a judge about how it was really hemp. Give them the hemp defense. See how it goes. It gets better. Let's say you have 3 friends and you each have the legal limit in the same car and you're pulled over. To you, it looks like a fun road trip, having a great time, just coming back from the dispensary. To the cop, it looks like a rolling dispensary, especially if there's any scales, baggies, cash, or anything else that makes it look like you have the intent to distribute, because the cops will stack that evidence and say that You